Hey, welcome back again to my channel. This is Spencer Colgan is Wallpaper. Inside corners. They're probably one of the top problematic issues with hanging large strips of wall covering and wide strips of wall covering. This is a 54-inch product. And this was our first sheet. And this is our second, which gives us about 15 inches. That's 15 inches of wraparound to the next wall. Now, keep in mind that this wall is not very long, okay? I would say that this wall is approximately 13 to 14 feet long. This first strip, bringing us into the second strip, gives us a crooked second half of this sheet. Why? Because the corner is not a 90-degree inner corner. Take a look at this. Take a look at this corner up close and maybe you can see why it has an issue. I'm going to switch you around. The piece was just cut. And because this corner is wavy, this sheet has to go in a little here, out a little down here, in to fill in that corner. If the corner were straight, this would be straight. Let me show you how much we're off. Our furthest point is at the bottom. In other words, the furthest point from the corner is this laser line right here. But you can see that the bottom and the top are different by an inch. In order to fix that, we would need to move this piece. We can't move it an inch out. Why? Because then we'd have an inch gap there. But we could move it an inch in up here. But these lines, we're going to lose an inch of the pattern where these horizontal lines meet the ones on its counterpart adjacent wall. Fortunately, they're horizontal. I don't think you're going to see it. But that K, we're going to lose something on that K on both wings of each of those parts of that letter. That being horizontal won't be an issue, nor will that. And I don't think you're going to notice those orange cones. So this is the issue when you have crooked inside corners, you lose pattern. Now, why did I mention the length of the wall? Could I hang the rest of this crooked? On my last video discussing whether or not you can hang wallpaper crooked, you might remember if you watched it, that the next sheet was a doorway. And so I chose to hang the wallpaper crooked since the nearest inside corner from which the issue became a problem was hidden. But the next piece was around a door and it was interrupted by the doorway. But here now we have all this space. If I hang this crooked, you see those lines up there? You see the one right on my fingertip? If that's not consistently at the top, someone's going to call you out on it. And that's why you can't hang this one crooked, because there's so much wall space, unlike the jewelry store that I did a month ago. You might find the title of the video, Can I hang my wallpaper crooked? Yes. But in this case, you obviously can't do it without detriment to the order at the top of the mural. That would be disordered to hang that this way, because of those horizontal images, you're going to see less and less of that line at the top, or I should say more and more of it, as the sheet descends because we would be hanging it crooked. In this case, no, you can't. So what I'm going to do is cut, well, it's already cut. I'm going to move my sheet over and make sure that my laser line meets my wall covering all the way up. Let's see how that goes. After having now made this sheet in line with our plumb line, we can now take a look at what, if any, will be the loss or detriment to the pattern in the corner. As you can see, horizontal lines fare well. There's no disconnection there. And of course, along the solid color, there's no detriment to the beauty of the wall covering either. We begin to have an issue here. We might have to work that and stretch this just a bit to make that meet. But if the corner were worse, that would be our first issue. But you can get creative with patterns like this, these fun patterns. You can take this black with the permission of the owner and make yourself an angular line going down here onto the blue and also here, if you wanted to do that. Let's take a look at our K. That's where we're going to lose connectivity. You can see at the top of the K, there's just no way to help a 45-degree angle line that goes from one wall to its adjacent counterpart. Again, with the right color, we can make that work if we're creative. And at the very top, you can see that there's no detriment to the beauty of the connectivity at the top because, and thankfully, we have horizontal lines. They all meet up. The only problem you're going to have in corners with a corner that's off in a very old location, such as the one I'm working in, is circular and like a 45-degree angle. That's going to cause you a problem. And letters like O and C and S's and the like. But if you don't comply, if you don't yield to the issue in the corner, what you're going to have is runoff at the top. And somebody will hold you accountable for that. Now, this is something newbies overlook. But this is, you might do the best installation. You might be fast and you might be clean. But if you blow this, I guarantee you, it'll hurt your name. Because in commercial places, everybody sees this work. And you don't want your name being on something that's crooked in a public place. Unless, of course, you can hide it. Let's say there were a doorway here. Guess what? I would leave this intact. I'm not going to mess with this and lose my K. If there were an arch here, I'd leave the crooked and meet up on the other side, making it work just above the arch. But we don't have that case. Okay, I'm going to trim my corner and get on with the job. Thank you for watching. Please click on like and subscribe. If you subscribe, hit the all bell, because if you don't, you won't get any subsequent videos. Thank you for watching.